Well, the Siman Shin Zayin, Sif Gimel. Also, Lases La'akom, you're not allowed to give to a guy Mois Erev Shabbos, not allowed to give him money Erev Shabbos, Lichtenstein Shabbos, to buy something for you on Shabbos. Telling the guy to go do a malacha for you on Shabbos is also. You're allowed to tell the guy, buy it for yourself. And if I need it, I'll buy it from you after Shabbos.
Is this with your money? Can you lend him the money?
So that's okay. We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to that in a second. The halacha here says that you're not allowed to give the guy money to buy something for you on Shabbos, because that is basically doing a malacha for you. Is a shliach to buy something on Shabbos. You're allowed to tell the guy to go buy it, and I'll buy it from you after Shabbos. So the question is, how far does that go? If you guarantee the guy, no matter what, I'll buy it from you. There's still mutter. Another shaila is if you give the guy money, your money, you lend him the money to go buy it to you, and then after Shabbos, he's gonna pay you back the money, and you'll buy it from him. You're allowed to do that. So the Maisa.
We had another halacha before. You're allowed to give a guy your money so he can do business with.
Yeah, but it doesn't have a dafka on Shabbos. Here it says you tell him to go buy it for you on Shabbos. This that we had before, the guy to do business for you, you're giving it to him. He's going to do whatever he wants with the money. First of all, over there's one difference because the guy is doing it for himself also. He's getting money off it. He's getting a percentage. Here it doesn't say anything about the guy is getting money off it. And second of all, over there, it's Lav Dafka told him to do it on Shabbos. He's going to work on Shabbos. Here, you sent him to do it for you on Shabbos. So if you lend the guy the money, and so the halacha is that if you lend the guy the money to buy it for you, to buy it, and you'll say you buy it from him, as long as while he's buying it, it's his. And if you decide to back out after Shabbos, you can still back out after Shabbos. There's no signed contract that you're going to buy it from him. It's still mutter. Once it's a signed contract and basically the guy is buying it for you, then already it's also. But as long as you could back out, then it's always considered the guy is buying it for himself, and you're buying it from the guy after Shabbos.
But what if your intent was, I know I can't tell him to buy it for me, so I'll tell him, buy it, and if I need it, but your intent really
doesn't make a difference. That's fine. As long as you don't have to buy it from him after Shabbos, it's okay.
What would be the practical situation of this?
He's going to Costco and
something. Something we'll see soon is only something that is only available on Shabbos. You told him to buy it for you on Shabbos. For example, there's a sale, a one-day sale.
You have a lot of these flea markets that only open up on Saturdays.
Yeah.
No, the Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay, but I'm saying if you only open.
Yeah, and it's a one-day sale.
Okay.
It's a one-day sale. Mm-hmm. So you tell the guy to do it for you on Shabbos. I know there's a child that came up recently. They have these swimming things for kids. The
swimming classes.
Swimming classes.
And to book. Yeah.
And to book, the only time it's available to book, or it opens up
on Shabbos.
Yeah. On Shabbos. And you can't go there on Shabbos to sign up. The only time the booking opens up Saturday morning, I think. And for swimming classes for kids. And it opens up Shabbos morning. And the Yidden can't sign up because Shabbos, by the time it's an hour later, whatever, 10 minutes later, it's already booked. And you can't get it anymore.
Sometimes they do that with concerts, and that kind of stuff, where the tickets are only going to be available on Saturday morning
at a certain time. And so there's the same idea. So you tell a guy to go ahead and buy you a ticket
before Shabbos.
Before Shabbos. Mm-hmm. And he's going to go buy. You didn't say. You said, "I'll buy it from you," but if you decide to back out, he's stuck. That's mutter. Mm-hmm. Same thing here. You can tell the guy to go sign up for himself, and you'll take his spot.
Huh? The next time will not buy for you if you get stuck.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
But what if your intention is not to back out?
Thank you.
Doesn't make a difference. As long as you could back out, it's okay.
As long as you could back out.
As long as you could back out.
Even though you intend not to back out.
Correct. Doesn't make a difference. Still mutter. As long as the guy is buying it for himself. I want to see Sif Daled with this, and then we'll see the Magen Avram's here. So this is all giving a guy the money on Erev Shabbos, that he should buy it for you on Shabbos, it's awesome. Daled, Mutter Losses La'akim Mois Me Erev Shabbos, you're allowed to give a guy money on Erev Shabbos, Lichtenstein to buy something for him, Ubelvad Shlo Yemel Knei B'Shabbos. You don't say buy it for me on Shabbos, so you're allowed to give him money Erev Shabbos to go buy something for you Erev Shabbos, you give him the money, and he can buy it, even if he's going to buy it on Shabbos, as long as you didn't tell him to buy it on Shabbos, it's mutter. You're allowed to give him clothing to sell. You don't tell him to sell you merchandise for you on Shabbos, even though you know there's a good chance to go sell it on Shabbos. Doesn't make a difference as long as you didn't tell him to go buy it for you or sell it for you on Shabbos. Misha Sachar Akum Lahaylik Scherosai Baboha Akum V'Locha V'Beis Yisrael B'Shabbos. Someone hired the guy to sell his merchandise, and the guy comes to the Yid's house on Shabbos to take the merchandise. That means he'll sell whenever he wants to sell it. He won't sell it on Shabbos, sell it on Sunday, but he he comes on Shabbos to pick up the merchandise.
That's awesome.
V'Locha V'Beis Yisrael B'Shabbos Aser. Like we had many times before, that a guy can never take anything from Yisrael's house, even if the Yisrael sold it to the guy before Shabbos, and the guy wants to come pick it up on Shabbos, you're not allowed to let the guy pick it up on Shabbos because it looks like you're sending him out of your house with the merchandise on Shabbos. We hate that a moth throws in, that if someone does it, it's worthy of giving him a punishment. I'll see in the Magen Avram what the punishment is. So these are the two halachas, Gimel and Daled. You're not allowed to give the guy money Erev Shabbos to buy something for you on Shabbos, but you're allowed to give him the money to buy something for you, and even though it happens to be he'll do it on Shabbos, as long as he didn't tell him to buy it for you on Shabbos.
We had before that you could rent him space in your chutzner.
Yechiel Mochen. Yes, we'll see soon. Someone speaks about it. If you rent him space in your chutzner, he's allowed to come pick it up. Or the child, if he's allowed to pick it up on that. So there, we'll see soon. Someone brings it down. So Yechiel Mochen, he's not going to help over here, because here it's still your merchandise. There it's better, it's his. Here it's yours, so even Yechiel and Mokim will not work. Let's see this. We're going to Sif Khan Gimel. Also, Litain, V'zel trying to go to Shri. Also, Litain la'akum mois be'erev Shabbos sheyiknu le'macher b'yamashuk. You're now going to give him money to buy you something the next day on Shabbos b'yamashuk. V'le'dama l'mashakaza v'simration beis to Shari v'simration zayid ha'asam yitzah akum li'asa ad l'macher b'yamachel. There you're giving the guy to fix something, give something to the cleaners. There the halacha was, it's mutter if you give it to Erev Shabbos. If it's kotzatz, right, we had then, it's only if it's kotzatz, you can make a certain price, then it's mutter. That's only mutter because he could do it b'yam hachol if he wants. Aval hacha if shaloi ki im l'mochar b'yam hashuk. Ad chal l'shayna. Here, it's only possible to buy it Shabbos, which Shabbos is the yam hashuk. Therefore, it's also because if you're telling the guy to go buy it for you on Shabbos. So he speaks out over here. Mashma behedid afilu ein le'omer loy liknos b'Shabbos. He didn't tell him go buy it for me on Shabbos. He just gave it to him and says go buy it for me, and we know the only day to buy it is on Shabbos. Also, still also kivin the ef shel liknos kiyim b'Shabbos. Why? The omer loy liknos b'Shabbos. If he tells him a furish to go buy it for him on Shabbos, afilu b'chol hashavua aser. Even the whole week it's aser. Even to tell him on Monday or on Tuesday, go buy it for me on Shabbos, it's aser. Not just Erev Shabbos. Here it says Be'erev Shabbos. Says the Magen Avram, the reason why it says here Be'erev Shabbos is because if you don't tell him to buy it on Shabbos, but it's the only day possible to buy it, then it's also Erev Shabbos. So the Magen Avram learns that the only time it's aser is if you tell him Erev Shabbos. I mean, it's 3 levels over here. One level is you tell them to buy it for you on Shabbos. You mefurish say, go buy it for me on Shabbos. That's also even on Sunday. The next thing is you don't tell them to buy it for you on Shabbos.
Tell him to buy it.
Tell them to buy it for you, but the only day possible to buy it is on Shabbos. So it says, if you told them to buy it for you on Shabbos, here the Magen Avram says, that's only also be'erev Shabbos. The Magen Avram is mashma, speaks about it first later on, that if it happens on Monday or Tuesday, even though the only day you could buy it is on Shabbos, That's the Yom HaShuk, it's mutter. Come out according to the Magen Avram, you're allowed to tell the guy there's a sale on Shabbos, and you tell him, listen, I want you to buy me this and this thing. You don't tell him which day, and you know the only day to buy it is on Shabbos. The halacha is according to the Magen Avram, it's mutter. If you said it on Monday or Tuesday. On Erev Shabbos, it's also. We're going to see if we don't pass on that way, but that's what the Magen Avram learns.
What's this for?
Because we had before already, that before Erev Shabbos, you don't have to worry about Shabbos. If you tell them before you buy it on Shabbos...
But there was always a reason for that, because maybe he won't.
No, even with that, maybe he won't. The Magen Avram holds, even with that, maybe he won't.
Well, when it came to the
Didn't we say that Wednesday?
we said maybe he won't use it. That was the spur for the Kalim. You tell him on Monday, it's far away.
So we had a Resh from Zion.
Didn't we have a factor between Wednesday? Like Wednesday made a split.
Not Wednesday. 3 days before? No, we had before Erev Shabbos.
It came to the mail even
Shabbos.
Sunday.
No, it came to the mail. The Magen Avram says in the mail,
Right.
if you give it to him before Friday, even though you know for sure he's going to deliver it on Shabbos, it's mutter. That's what the Magen Avram says, Reish Mem Zion. You go back to Reish Mem Zion. The Magen Avram says, right, the Ramah says, V'yesh matirim, says the Ramah in Sif Aleph, Hafil like katzatz, hafil like kavur by doya b'masa, imeshalchei b'yem hei, by koidim l'chem. So we learned then in the Ramah, how to learn the Ramah. So is it only taking care of the issue of there's no beidoya kavur in the city, but it could reach the city before Shabbos? But the Magen Avram says, "Va'afilu yeduash layochal la'gia l'sham kodim haShabbos," it's still mutter. So the Magen Avram says, you send him on Tuesday, you know for sure he cannot reach the destination before Shabbos, it's still mutter according to the Magen Avram. Why? Because on Tuesday you don't have to worry about Shabbos. If you tell him before you go do it on Shabbos, that's worse according to the Magen Avram. If I didn't tell him go do it on Shabbos, I just gave him a job and I know he's going to do it on Shabbos, for example, he can't reach the destination until Shabbos, or the only time he could buy it is on Shabbos, says the Magen Avram over here, it's mutter. The Amilai Lichtenstein b'Shabbos afilu b'chol hashvu also mashkasa b'gos maimis dami the posik lishbois ayin sham shekasav she'ein heter el leimer kinei la'atzmecha v'zeh barid like a b'seisif v'hu adin k'sheyem hashuk b'Shabbos aser litin la'idava limchar. You're now allowed to give him something to sell, not just to buy, even to sell. When is that? Talking about Erev Shabbos. Chen Kosev v'sefer Masas Binyamin. V'Kosav, and he writes, the Bedalet v'Hei mutter. On Wednesday and Thursday it's mutter. Moshe Kosev Simon Reish Mem Zayin. That's this halacha of Reish Mem Beis. So the Magen Avram comes out that if you do it on Tuesday, on Wednesday or Thursday, it's mutter as long as you don't specify to do it on Shabbos, even though the Yom HaShuk is on Shabbos. And you know he's going to do it on Shabbos. Yeah, we'll see in a second. Because of Sefer Chasidim writes, Al Yidar Adam Be'ir Sheyem HaShuk B'Shabbos, a person does not live in a city where the Yom HaShuk is on Shabbos, Ki Efshir Shalayechta, it's impossible, shouldn't make do an Aveira. It's not in your area, it's mutter. So kids, you have to be careful not to live in a place where you can have the Nisayin to do things on Shabbos, because you end up doing it on Shabbos. Alright, so we look in the Mishnah Berurah over here.
And there's no havamina between, like, if you're buying something in the shuk as a consumer versus, let's say, you're buying it for business purposes. Let's say you're buying raw materials that you're going to resell.
Doesn't make a difference. It's also a problem.
It's a problem.
It's also...
No, but
if you do, you win.
Let's say you're asking the guy on to buy you something on Tuesday or whatever, and everything in the right timing.
And you know that he's gonna.
But he's gonna buy it on Shabbos. But it's something that you're gonna resell, like it's for business purposes. Like you're gonna resell those.
It's still
things.
usher.
It would be usher, yeah.
It's usher, yeah. But according to the Magen Avram, if you don't tell him to buy it on Shabbos, even though you can only buy on Shabbos, it's not so negated today. I mean, if there's a place where, let's say there's what's it called? They have the shows. What do they call them?
Trade shows.
What?
Trade shows.
Trade shows, yeah. Where the trade show is on Shabbos, then it could be an issue. because you know the guy's going to go. If you send your worker to the trade show, you know he's going to buy on Shabbos. According to the Magen Avraham, if you do it on Tuesday, we're not passing that way.
Right.
It's okay, because he didn't tell him to go on Shabbos. He told him to go buy something. You know he's going to go buy it by a trade show.
It happened to be open on Shabbos.
It's the only time they're open.
Yeah.
But that's according to the Magen Avraham, it's mutter. We'll see the Mishnah Berurah passes that it's aser. If you look in the Mishnah Berurah Sif Katan, look at the Mishnah Berurah Sif Katan Tezvav.
We watch l-liyu.
Yeah. Bavashla Yemar. It's on page 202. Bavashla Yemar. Vim Yemar Shuk Sham B'Shabbos. Boise Mokem Eni Matzah Lichtenstein Ki Im B'Yemar Deshuko. K'Masharogel B'Ayeres K'Dayil K'Tanais. It's only available to buy on the Yemar Shuk. Havole K'Mazkir Loi Yemar Shabbos B'Ferish. Bein Shem Avaksha Lichtenstein Avuroi. So if he asks him to buy for him, or he tries him limchar, or he gives it to sell, va'afilu betchiles hashvua aser. Even in the beginning of the week, it is aser. If you look in the Sharit Tzin, Siv Katan Tezvav, who is that? Al Yerabba of Levush Esrad. V'cholku al Magen Avraham shemekel b'zeh. And they argue in the Magen Avraham. The Magen Avraham is a mekel, as long as you don't tell him to do it on Shabbos, it's mutter, even though you know for sure he's going to do it on Shabbos. If you're holding Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, the Rabbi and the Levush Esrad argue, and they hold that if you know for sure he's going to do it on Shabbos, it's also even in the beginning of the week. But then he says, if it's possible to buy it other days, Ein Isser Elam Ke Masker B'Fei Shem Shabbos. And then he says, the famous Taz, V'chenim Amar Lo HaYisrael Re'ei Shani Tzarech Leilech Daki B'Motzah Shabbos Havagam Kein Kematzke Yem Shabbos B'Feirish. If he gives it to the guy and he says, listen, I need this, I'm leaving Motzah Shabbos, and he gives it to him Friday, there's no time to do it before Shabbos, it's also also, we've had that before many times, if you don't give the guy enough time to do it not on Shabbos, it's as if you're telling him before he should do it for you on Shabbos. Okay, we'll get back to the rest of this Mishnah Berurah here. Just want to see the Magen Avraham and the Taz first. So we'll go with the Mishnah Berurah. We're not going to be matter to give something to go even in the middle of the week if you know for sure he's going to have to do it for you on Shabbos. Okay, Dalit. V'chein mutar litain ayin simin reish from hey sif hey va'ash layash. What it means over here is that over there we say it's talking about only about kotzatz. Mutar losses lachem mars from erev Shabbos Lichtenstein. You're allowed to give a guy money erev Shabbos to buy something for you, as long as you don't tell him to do it for you on Shabbos. And this is only if it was kotzatz. You gave him a certain amount of money, how much are you going to pay him? And this goes back to the old halachas, when a guy does something for you on Shabbos, even though you're not telling him to do it for you on Shabbos, it's a mutter. So if it's kotzatz, it's mutter. If it's schir yoim, it's aser. And that was the whole beginning of where we had in the earlier simonim. And if he's doing it for free, we had a shayla, if he's expecting payment or not. So here he says, I am simin reish mem hey, where over there it talks about the cases that it's mutter only by kotzatz. Can be based Yisrael, b'Shabbos aser, l'kach l'shari elam by yoim kotzatz. Shabbos also take it from his house on Shabbos as aser. Mashchas v'simin reish mem beis, v'ayim mashchas v'simin shin hey, sif chaf aleph v'simin reish mem zayin. Now over here, here the Mishnah Berurah speaks out that Yechiel and Mokim won't help. Mishnah Berurah Sif Katan Zayin says at the end of it, "B'nyanenu she'ascheri hishal Yisrael." At the end of Sif Katan Zayin, the last line, "U'b'nyanenu she'ascheri hishal Yisrael afilu yichid le'mokim v'niach sham aschera loy mahani." It won't help. Okay, le'einish ha'oiseh says the Magen Avraham. The fee ashrei, according to how much money he has, b'mamoin, so you're allowed to punish him and give him a knas. Or b'malchus, or give him malchus. Im ein le'mam, if he has no money. Because of Eliezer Hasayin Simin Kufnun Vav Im Ta'ash Savash Mutir Ein Eichnais. If he thought it was mutir, don't punish him. The name one Loimer Shasa B'Shagig. We trust him if he says he didn't know. We don't punish him if he says he doesn't know. Some people say this whole itzir over here is only by Schiryoim, but K'tzitza Meikaitis is mutter, maybe Rais Adavar, Ba'kal Zeh, Libi Noikfi Al Kan L'Shainoi. He says the Maisa we're not matter over here only by a Kaitis, not by a Schiryoim.
That would make a difference if you tell your nanny that's what he's saying here. You could tell your nanny to go buy the tickets on Shabbos versus making a.
She's a Schiryoim.
If she's
right, she's a Schiryoim.
No, he's saying. Am I understanding that if he's Kotzas Damim, then it would be
better.
It would be better, right?
Kotzas is better.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you have a nanny that you pay Kotzas Damim.
You pay. It's not Shakal Schiryoim. Right.
So you have right. So you have somebody who's Kotzas Damim.
Yeah, but it's only if it's not on Shabbos. Here we're going where you didn't tell him to buy it on Shabbos. He's going to go buy it on Shabbos.
Is this going back to the Magen
No.
where he would?
No, this is going on Siv Dalet. This is Siv Dalet. We give the money. You don't say to go buy it on Shabbos. You're right. According to the Magen Avraham, if you give it Tuesday or Wednesday,
you don't have a problem anyway.
You don't have a problem.
You don't need. According to
right.
the
Also only kotzatz. Even the Magen Avraham we said before, Dalet v'hei is mutter, is also only by kotzatz. That takes care that you're not telling them to do it on Shabbos. Kotzatz is mutter. Anytime you tell a guy to do something on Shabbos, even kotzatz is also.
Correct. Right.
If you tell a guy, if you make a ktitza, a certain amount, you give the guy something 10 minutes before his man. You say, I need a Motzei Shabbos by his man. It's also, even though it's kotzatz.
Because you're telling him to buy on Shabbos.
So here, this heter over here with the Schir Yom is only in the case where you're not telling him to do it on Shabbos.
So I guess I'm still stuck on the Yom HaShuk. If the Yom HaShuk is only on Shabbos, then what's the
heter of the Magen Avraham?
Yeah, where do you?
It's the Chiddush of the Magen Avraham. It's the Chiddush of the Magen Avraham. But since you're not telling him to do it on Shabbos, it's okay. If it's kotzatz, there's no problem of working for you on Shabbos.
But you are telling him that's the only time.
Magen Avraham would say it's not okay.
Right. If it's a Schir Yom, even according to Magen Avraham,
it's not paid at all. You tell
so it's not paid at all. It was the Shiloh which we had.
You ask a guy, do me a favor. I want to buy this.
Right. There could be it's worse.
Right.
You're not paid at all because the guy is for sure doing it for you.
Right.
Unless the guy is expecting a favor back, that was no Shiloh there. Right. Then maybe it has like kotzatz. But usually when you tell a guy to do something for you, to buy something for you on Shabbos, the chayra, it's awesome.
But this Magen Avraham is assuming that there's kotzas damim.
Correct.
Right? The
heter is only by kotzatz.
And the Mishnah doesn't comes out anyways la'alochal aser, so it doesn't really.
If it's Shabbos, the only time you can buy it is on Shabbos, it's awesome. Yeah. We don't pass it with the Magen Avraham. We pass it that if the only time it's possible to buy it is on Shabbos, it's awesome. Here's the Magen Avraham says it, okay. The nearly the full Yechiel and Mokem Aser, Kimish has Chayr Shal Yisrael. Umiyu, in A'akum Lochem es Yisrael Kaidem Shabbos, Afish a Maflik b'Shabbos, Shari. Even though he's using it on Shabbos, he's on the ship on Shabbos, it's mutter as long as he left the house of the Yisrael before Shabbos. That's the Magen Avraham. So it's an important task we have to see here also. Task you've gotten Gimel. We'll go through the whole task, we'll go through it quickly. Task you've gotten Gimel. Shloyemeloi Knei b'Shabbos. You're not allowed to tell the guy to buy it for you on Shabbos. Beisesiv Hevi Divrei Hagos Maiminis Perek Vav Zel L'Shoinoi V'Lodami L'Chol Hani D'Shari Beis Hillel Im HaShemesh. To Kuluhu, all the other cases where it's mutter to give a guy something right before Shabbos, he boy Ovid Machar, he boy Yamtim. He doesn't have to do it tomorrow. He could wait. V'nimtza akim ka'over adaita d'nafshei. Aval hacha i efsher ki'im l'macha b'yem hashuk ad chan l'shaynoi. That's why here it's also because the only time for him to do it is b'yem hashuk, and therefore it's also. Chasa b'seisa v'zeh yem hashuk lav dafka ala urcha d'milsa nakat tafil any yem hashuk kivit shu oimer liklis le'im Shabbos also. V'zeh ikar achilak d'bahanach ein oimer lo shiasa b'Shabbos ad chan l'shaynoi v'nirli d'naka yem d'shuk d'b'zeh Afilum eine maske beferish yikne b'Shabbos el noisen le moy sheyikne le stam In that place, the only time you can buy is on Shabbos. If you could find it other days, there's no issue because the guy could do it on different days. Elam came masking with fair Shem Shabbos. And nearly oid, the fill of Bahana the Matira Basilah and Meshemesh got nice and clear the Chavis. Akom Yesh Isirim nice and like Kelim Samach Shabbos. This is the Taz of Mogav Ram the Mishbru brought down. I mean, for Amalei Re'ei Shani Sarach Leheba Mot Shabbos Havalei K'Omer Beferish Sheychapsem B'Shabbos. V'chein le'inyanim nice and like Mois Be'V Shabbos Lignas for Amalei Sheyeh L'Chadake B'Mot Shabbos. It's also also if he tells him I have to leave Matzah Shabbos right away and he gives him money to buy it for him, it's as if he told him to do it on Shabbos. Now, says it has weiter. Venerally oid. If he didn't tell him to buy it on Shabbos, but he ended up buying it for him on Shabbos, it's mutter. So this is the klal we stressed it a lot last week, and we'll have it a lot now and in the next sif also. It's mutter to tell the guy to go buy something for you, even though the guy's going to buy it on Shabbos, it's okay. But when the guy bought it on Shabbos, are you allowed to use it on Shabbos?
Not on that Shabbos.
On that Shabbos? So says the Taz, that Ma'aseh Shabbos you're not allowed to use it. Why? Takaponim asa b'shvil Yisrael. V'zeh doimel ha'akav shehidlik ner b'shvil Yisrael. It's just like a guy goes ahead without you telling him anything. He lights a candle for you, it's asr. Why? Because if a guy does a malacha for Yisrael on Shabbos, it's asr. Even though he gave him an amount, even kotzatz, right? That's what we had the whole time till now. Even if it was kotzatz, and we said the guy is doing a daita denafshe, but if he puts on a candle for you on Shabbos, it's also to use that candle that Shabbos, because he's lighting it for you. It doesn't help because he's doing the malacha because of the Israel. So that's what the Taz says over there. If you look at the Mishabura, he's not machlokes about this. So just to remind ourselves, the case was that we had in Siman Reish Mem Beis, I think it was, or Reish Nun Beis, where was it? And
the tailor finishes his work on Shabbos.
Right, the tailor finishes the work on Shabbos. Are you allowed to wear it?
He comes to you on Shabbos.
Right, are you allowed to wear it? That's Reish Nun Beis, right? We had some in Reish Nun Beis Sif Daled. Let's go through quickly to remind ourselves. Kol Shakotzatz, Api Shiyas En Yehudim Melacha V'Shabbos Mukli Yisrael Lulboy Shakli Bish Shabbos Atzmo. The Yisrael is allowed to wear it on Shabbos himself. Reish Nun Beis Sif Daled. The Chol Shakotzatz Adaita the Nafshe Ka'ovid. Hagar V'Yesh Oisrin Live Shai Kol Sheyadua Shein Huvdi Gomrei B'Shabbos. So it's a machlokes. The guy Kotzatz. It's mutter to give you thing Erev Shabbos to a guy, a tailor. The tailor happens to finish it on Shabbos. He brings it to you now. You want to wear it on Shabbos. Are you allowed to wear it? The Mechaber says mutter, because Adaita the Nafshik Avad.
So where are you?
The Reish Nun Beis Sif Daled. So the Mechaber says it's mutter, and the Ramah says V'yesh Oisrin. Now, what's found in the Mechaber? The Mechaber is when the guy lights a candle for you, he's doing it just for you. Masha Ein Kain, right? Mishbru says over there, it's not doimid to Reisha involved. Sif Aleph that any who the shidduch hanebish for Yisrael is also l'shlamish l'oira. Kamakam says over here, any Yehudi le'ovad b'Shabbos b'shvil hanois Yisrael. Rakadati denafshi le'maher lahashlim pula. So in the case of a tailor, why is a tailor finishing it up on Shabbos?
Get his money.
He has other jobs to do. When the guy lights a candle for you on Shabbos, the only reason why he's lighting the candle is for you. He's lighting the candle for you. Mashenke by a tailor, he's doing it to finish up his job. He wants to get over with it. Says the Mishburu over there, but if the guy tells you, I finished it off because I know you needed the suit for Shabbos, then even the Mechaber is going to hold it's awesome. Because then he says before she did that die to the Israel. Says the Taz over here, according to that Ramah, that any time a guy finishes something on Shabbos, we don't have the heter of the mechaber. The Ramah argues as it's aser. Says the Taz over here that if you give money to a guy to buy something for you, now he could do it on Sunday, he could do it on Monday. He happens to have done it on Shabbos. He wants to get over with it, and then he comes to you with the merchandise and gives it to you on Shabbos. Says the Taz, it's aser. Why? Because we pass like the Ramah over there. It's simulation base. But if you look over here, the Mishnah brings down machlekes about this. The Mishnah Baruch Sifkan Tes Vav, the one we started seeing before. Kosev Hataz. Kosev Hataz. It's in Mishnah Baruch Sifkan Tes Vav. We left off.
Yeah.
We left off before. Kosev Hataz. The Masha Etiru im lo yizocha lo sheyikne b'Shabbos b'kamakon lo yehena ha'Yisrael mimenu b'oisei Shabbos. Why? Dal kalponim osa b'shvil Yisrael. The after shemayim zeh shekitzet, he made a kitzitza, shekitz le'schar kedel el b'sivkar in Yudalit, loy mahani. It still doesn't work. Why not? Like we saw in simulation base according to the Ramah. Aval ha'el Rabbi v'ataysu Shabbos cholkin olav. They argue. And they say it's mutter. Now the question is, what's Pshat Al Rabbi and Tue Shabbos? The Ramah and Rishon base said that it is awesome. The guy comes to you with the tailored clothing on Shabbos. So why over here does El Rabbi and Tue Shabbos say it's mutter? So if you look in the Sharet Tzion, see if Kurt Yud Zay, he explains it. It says V'rei Asam, and the right is Meleel, simulation base Sivdal Ayin Sham. Now, va'afla yesh ha'imrim, the question is, the Ramah argues over there. Va'afla yesh ha'imrim sham, efshe de dafke b'sha'asa en Yehudi melacha d'va Torah. Only if the guy did an Issa Torah. V'loi b'kinyin u'mechira. But not kinyin u'mechira. Not Issa d'Rabbanan. So the Eliezer and Shabbos say, that incineration of base that the Ramah said, it's aser. If the guy finishes it on Shabbos and brings it to you, it's only also by Issa D'Araisa. But if the guy did an Issa D'Rabbanan, sells the Rabbi and the Shabbos, it's mutter. The Taz argues. The Taz says even by a D'Rabbanan, it's also. They say it's mutter. That's their problem. But then the Sharet Tzion finishes it and he says, b'shakayim mine Yechiel, when the guy is buying for your food, efshe de yesh lahachmir. Why? The bestama kavanas and Yehudi. If the guy is buying food for you, then it could be it's aser. Why? Because then we said before that in simulation base, the Mashabru says that if the guy says I did it for you, it's aser, according to everybody. So when the guy buys food for you, in those days for sure, it didn't last too long. You had to eat it that day. So the guy obviously is buying it for you to use it today. Therefore, the Mishnah says it's awesome. So anytime we see from the guy's action, or if he says that I did it for you because I wanted you to have it today, it's awesome. The question is if the guy didn't say that. He finished it off because he wanted to have extra time later on. Then it's a machlekes by the rice, so we pass like the Ramah. By Nisa de Rabbanan, you have machlekes Taz and Dali Rabba. Okay, that was the easy stuff. Now let's go to Sif Hey. So I'll give you a little Akdama for Sif Hey, and the Akdama is that it's very, very complicated. Meaning there's a few different halachas over here, and to apply it halacha l'maisa, you have to be a pasuk. You can't just take it the way it says it and apply it for whatever you want. There's a lot of halachas here, different halachas here in Sif Hey. I'll try to go through each one separately, but to apply it where you could apply it halacha l'maisa, you have to add, I wouldn't say you could do it yourself. So Sif Hey is a Sif talking about shvus to shvus. Telling the guy to do malacha de Rabbanan, there are certain times that it's mutter. Famous halachas of shvus to shvus, and that a guy is allowed to do certain things on Shabbos because it's a malacha de Rabbanan. Now, There's two things. One thing we have to realize, I spoke out last week, I can speak out again. This whole heter of Shvus to Shvus, there's two parts to every time the guy does a malacha for you. There's the Amira, tell him the guy to do it for you, which is Aser. And let him say, there's no Amira. The guy does it by himself, the malacha. It's also Aser. You're not allowed to be nana from a Maisa Akim on Shabbos. So forget about the Amira. Even just the Maisa Shabbos itself is a problem. So when we go through the Sif, you have to keep it in mind, there's two things here. There's the Amira and there's the Maisa. Even though the Amira could be mutter, it doesn't mean that the Maisa is mutter. And we'll explain. We had last week that there's times that Amira la'akim is mutter, but only because the Maisa Akum is also mutter. Meaning, the Maisa Akum, what the Mishpura says was, you can use it after Shabbos, or you have a light and he adds on a light. With such a Maisa Akum, if the guy would do it himself, it's mutter anyway. So then there's times where the Amira is also mutter. So let's keep that in mind when we learn to see if there's an Amira and there's a Maisa. So it says the Mechaber, Dover she'ein melacha.
So an example of an Amira that's mutter is if it's after Shabbos?
We had last week an Amir, which is a Remiza after Shabbos.
You would have
a Remiza after Shabbos is mutter.
The air conditioner on.
Without Remiza?
Amira Mamish after Shabbos is also.
Right, but is there any case where you have an Amira
on Shabbos?
Yeah, that would be mutter in the absence of a malacha.
A Shvus to Shvus, we'll see. Amira of a Shvus to Shvus could be its mutter. That's the Sif. But it has to be only that the mice is also mutter. Let's go through, we'll see. Davar she'enei melacha. Something that's not a melacha, ve'enei asa lasas b'Shabbos, ela mishum shvus. It's only asa to do it on Shabbos because of an issa d'Rabbanan, a shvus. Mutter li Yisrael loyim la'akum la'asoysay. A Yisrael is allowed to tell a goy to do it for him b'Shabbos, but you have certain conditions. So now when the Yisrael is telling the goy to do it for him, what's basically happening is, it's called a shvus to shvus. Meaning, a guy is doing a malacha for me is a shvus. Not it's a deraisa. According to come out all the poskim, a guy that does a malacha for Yisrael is a shvus. A guy that does a malacha d'Rabbanan, it's a shvus to shvus. So here you have the maisa that the guy is doing for you is already a shvus to shvus, even without Amira. Still, if a guy wants to do for you an issa d'Rabbanan on Shabbos, it's asr. Only in certain cases it's mutter. For who sheyesham miktzas chayli, see what that means soon. There's a little bit of someone that has a little sickness, or it's very, very necessary to do it, or b'fnei mitzvah, or because of a mitzvah. So there are three cases where shvus the shvus is mutter. Sai in the asiya, and sai in the amira. Means you're allowed to tell the guy to do a d'Rabbanan for you, and you're allowed to benefit from the ma'aser that the guy does for you. For example, Ketzad, Aymi Yisrael la'akum b'Shabbos, la'alais be'ilon to go up on a tree, lahevi shefer l'tkoyat kiyas mitzvah. Now, going up on a tree on Shabbos is an issa d'Rabbanan. A yid to climb a tree on Shabbos is only Exera. An issa d'Rabbanan, it's a deraisa. To tell a guy to do it for you, it's already a shvus to shvus. The guy is doing an issa d'Rabbanan. Or the heavy mayim derech chatzis shlo irvoi l'chitz bayam mitztayer. Or to bring water through a chatzir where there's no eruv. Now it's not a shus rabim. Shus rabim is an issa d'Raisa. We're talking about the chatzir, but there's no ruv chatzeris. Or another example would be today. Our shus rabim, most of them are really a carmelis. It's not shus rabim d'Raisa. So a guy to carry for you through our carmelis is shvus to shvus. So if you need the water, l'chitz bayam mitztayer, someone who's a mitztayer, it's also mutter. It's a shvus to shvus. But v'yesh oisrim, and some people say even a shvus to shvus is also in all these cases. The Meister says the Ramah l'chamon sim tavkuf peivav pasak lahatir. The Ramah himself, the Mechaber himself is pasak lahatir. That a shvus to shvus b'mokem mitzvah, b'mokem tzorich, b'mokem chaylik tzas is mutter. What the Ramah means to say over here is that the Mechaber, when he has a stam v'yesh. The Mechaber passes like the stam, but he has the yesh because it says it's better to be machmer with the yesh if you could. Says the Ramah, you should know that Mechaber himself by shofar brings down the heter of shvus to shvus. He doesn't even bring down the yesh. He doesn't even bring down the yesh emrim. So the Ramah is basically saying that it's a heter and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to be machmer in any case.
So in this case of the shofar and the tree, this is b'Shabbos. I mean, you're never going to blow a shofar.
Yeah. Let's speak about it. The person speak about it. You never blow a shofar on Shabbos. Maybe it's Yom Tov.
Yeah, but
It says Shabbos.
Yeah. So the question was Shabbos. The question what it means with Shabbos. You go with Shabbos because you need it for Sunday. The person speak about it. What's the case here of Shabbos?
They're blowing on Yerushalayim.
But Beis Mikdash.
If Yom Kippur is on Shabbos, you need it right after Yom Kippur is over.
You need it by his man. Yeah, Yom Kippur. Yeah. But Yom Kippur is not really
But they call Yom Kippur
close a mitzvah.
Yom Kippur is called Shabbos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They speak about it. They say
that's the key, isn't it?
Keep it on Shabbos, go Shabbat.
the question speak about if you need a tzarich mitzvah and you have to do it today for tomorrow, it's a mutter also. That's what they do.
Regular example, carrying for a bris. Right.
Yeah, carrying for a bris. If it's not a shus rabbin. If it's a shus rabbin, you want to carry a baby to the shul.
Right.
Right, so it's a shus to shus of makkah mitzvah.
So that's permitted.
That's permitted.
What's the shofar doing in the tree?
But to do it,
What is the shofar doing in the tree?
kids are playing with it.
It grows on the trees.
Then it says, "Va'ayin le'el semeresh ha'invov siv beis the yesh makil and a fil b'malacha da'iraisa," which that was the Baal Itter we had. That the Baal Itter was matter even a malacha da'iraisa through a goy the tzarich mitzvah. The Ma'aseh we don't pass with the Baal Itter. We pass in like the Mechaber and the Ramah over here that a shvus to shvus is mutter b'makom mitzvah, b'makom chelik tzas, and b'makom tzarich harbe.
That means if a congregation needs something,
We'll see. We'll go through all the halachas. Let's see. Let's start with the Magen Avram. Sif Kotin Zayin. Mixat Chayli says the Ila b'Chayla Mamish HaKayla Kol HaGuf V'Shesh B'Sakonis Eivir Afilu Yisrael Oiseh Shvus L'Chadman D'Omar. So there's different levels in Chayli. I will get it to when we learn Shin Chav Ches when we get to it. But Bekitzer, there's something called the Mechesh Ba'alma. Mechesh Ba'alma, someone has a headache. Not really sick. So that's called Mechesh Ba'alma. Then there's something called Chaylik Tzas, which is our case over here. A Chaylik Tzas, he's a little bit sick, but he's not Nafal Mishkov. He has to stay in bed because of it. So that's our case where Shvus to Shvus is mutter. And a perfect example is if somebody is not feeling well, not Nafal Mishkov, but he wants to tell a guy to get something from the car, which is muktzah. Okay, the light is another issue. But that's called a shvus to shvus, and a guy is allowed to do it b'mixas chayli. But in a case where it's a chayli kol haguf, a person's in bed, he can't leave bed because of it, then it's even more coolest. Even a Yisrael could be over a shvus, and this is the Rabbanan. When Shechas Hashem Shir Chav Chesif Yitzayin, v'shvus shalai kedarka, afilu b'mitztayir shari, when Shechas Hashem Sif Lamed Gimel. Now, V'da, there's all lashon of the Magen Mishnah. V'da, she'em daven davar l'davar b'inyanei hashvusim ve'ein lecha ba'am lahatin elamash omer chachamim d'legabe mila le'yitiru shvus. You can't always be matter whatever you want. But Shechas of Simen Shin Lamed Al Sivav legabe keich b'ayis b'Eretz Yisrael muter hashvus. Ad kan divrei Magen Mishnah Perik Vav. So says the Magen Avram, Mashma midvarav. She'egoyis bar Rambam mixas chayli oy mitztayer. So says the Magen Avram that from the Magen Mishnah's mashma is goyis in the Rambam only two cases: mixas chayli mitztayer and mitzvah. He didn't bring in bechlal tzarich tzas. Chen kasav atur b'shmoi v'lo gasina nemiyah tzarich harbe. He doesn't say a word about tzarich harbe. Avon medivrei arrived mashma the garis lay. But the Magen Avram here, I'll go through it quickly, the Magen Avram, but his shaila is, when's it mutter? Besides mitzvah, besides chayli, there's a third category that's mutter. What's that category? Tzarich. What does tzarich mean? Tzarich harbe, tzarich sas, What does it mean, tzorich? If you need it. Something you need, a shvus to shvus is mutter. What's included in tzorich? So, the Magen Mishnah doesn't say anything about tzorich harbe. The Ravid does say about it. Mashman the Gorish Leisha Kosov Zal Shoyna Emer Avram Moy Miktas Choyle Hu Ba'atzme Oitzer V'chen B'Mogam Hefsid. You go in Tzinor Ad Kam L'Shoyna. So the Ravid puts in a Mogam Hefsid. What's tzorich harbe mean? You have a hefsid. This Mogam Avram is very negeya for business people who have have a hefsid on Shabbos. It's mutter to do a shvus l'shvus. And when is it mutter? So the Ravid says b'Mogam hefsid it's mutter. But Gos Mordechai Perek Chavtes Kosav. The Rabbi Tziner Shari Mishum Shul Yovel L'Sakem B'Yadayim. Tziner is mutter if it's a hefsid only because with chayshish you're going to end up fixing it by yourself, by your hands, without a shvus l'shvus. Aval shal shvusim aser. Every other shvus is aser, even b'Mogam hefsid. V'rivosh timishin pei dalet kosav tafilu loymer la'akam la'aser shvus aser afilu b'Mogam seder. Even in the case we have a hefsid, you're now tell a guy to do a malacha for you. Shvus l'shvus. The hakibui, putting out a fire, nami malacha tzricha l'gufa, is a malach netzich l'gufa. It's called the shvus l'shvus. This is important to know anyway. It's Mogam Avram that kibui, putting out a fire, is called a malacha d'Rabbanan because the malacha she'ein tzricha l'gufa. You don't need to put out the fire. You need the fire out. So this will be a heter of a goy putting out a fire for you. For example, your food is burning, something like that, where it's a shvus l'shvus.
It's also it's an indirect benefit.
That's called a malach netzich l'gufa. It's a malach netzich l'gufa. Yeah, it's a malach netzich l'gufa. V'gam achim shehevi dayin asa ava pish le'asa ala isa d'Rabbanan ayin sham. V'ran perchavi it's kasav gamken l'chad lishna the shvutz kedarkoi asa afilai de akum b'makom seder. Even through a goy b'makom seder, it's still asa. V'lchad tirutz kasav d'shayne kibui kivin dem tzarech l'gufoi haychayim in atayrav ein akab b'kiyim v'zeh figach asa afilai de akum. He says that one time maybe it's mutter, but by kibui is different, because if it wouldn't be ein tzarech l'gufa, it would be nisa d'araisa. The Semicha Lamadal, see if base kosav l'shemen afil shvus aser, when shkosav v'rash, but shuvas simin tafshin peidal, with simin tafshin chav beis. The chayin nearly says the Mogam Avram at the end out of all this. He says the Magen Mishnah is mashma, any tzarech is good. The Ravid says a Mokum Seder. The Rivosh says that even Mokum Seder you can't do a shvus l'shvus. The chayin nearly says the Mogam Avram. The Mokum hefsid godoil, not stam hefsid. Hefsid godoil, yesh lahater shvus ayidei akum. The Mokum hefsid godoil, you could be mater shvus ayidei akum. That's called the shvus l'shvus. So we had the mixas chayli, we have mitzvah, and we have hefsid gadol. Right? This last line here, I'll get to later. It's a whole sugya in itself. But basically, what he's saying here is.
We're talking about Shina there?
Yeah. We'll get to that. It's a sugya in itself. I don't want to get to it now because we'll get sidetracked. But basically, the Mogam Avram says that the whole heter of the Mechaber says tzarech harbe. Says the Mogam Avram, tzarech harbe is only mutter. The Mokum hefsid gadol. So the big hefsid, it's mutter a shvus to shvus. That's the only time it's mutter. A big loss. But any small loss, any small tzarech, but not matter shvus to shvus.
Right. So if you have a big leak in your roof and the water's
it has to be hefsid gadol.
right. So
if it's a hefsid gadol, a guy to do Isid Rabbanon.
Right.
Yeah, if there's a leak in your house, it's going to ruin your house. What's the Isid? To fix it? Depends what he's doing.
To call somebody. To call a plumber. To call a...
Well, what's the plumber doing for you? He's doing malacha d'oraisa?
If he puts a tarp over the roof, say, that's a d'oraisa, no?
No, it could be not. It's a oil arai.
Okay.
Yeah, so it depends.
That may be a good idea.
Yeah, it depends. You have to... These questions, you have to know the guy has to be doing a malacha d'Rabbanan.
Right.
And it has to be hefsid gadol.
And you have to know, first of all, is it a malacha?
First you have to know if it's malacha d'Rabbanan.
Right.
And secondly, you have to know if it's hefsid gadol or not.
Right.
These things you have to know.
if it's a makam mitzvah, there's no machlokes.
There's a makam mitzvah, there's no machlokes, you can do a shvus to shvus.
Right.
Now the question is, what's called the makam mitzvah? What's called the makam mitzvah?
We struggled enough with the difference between sheikhar and sholent.
Right,
And
right,
kiddush.
right. So kiddush is
So kiddush is b'makam mitzvah.
Kiddush is a makam mitzvah.
We saw sheikhar maybe also.
Sheikha maybe not. Was it so pashut?
And sholent also.
Yeah.
That's Sarah Harbe. That's
Yeah.
No, I'm talking just on mitzvah. I mean, just defining what.
Yeah, so that was the question, right? That's a pashut. What's called a tzarech mitzvah?
Shabbos, you ask a guy to
Yeah.
turn
That's the whole shot. Turning on the lights in the shul for the people to daven is a big shiloh.
That's a different issue. That's
an issue with the Raisa.
But that's the rabbin.
Doesn't make a difference. Even if it's the rabbin, we're not matter it so easily.
The rabbin?
Even the rabbin. If it's the Raisa, we're not matter it. Let's say putting our lights in the shul, it's a deraisa.
By Eruv, if the Eruv falls,
that's something else.
But that's rabbin.
No, Eruv is something else because you've been saving the rabbin from being over an issa of carrying, right? Which is a big issa. It's a deraisa of carrying. Here, that people should be able to daven. Who says that's a tzorich to be over? There by the Eruv will matter.
Even a deraisa.
Even with Semicha and the Bala Itter even.
Yeah.
Semicha and the Bala, even a deraisa is mutter maybe. But to put on a light in the shul, it depends. If you hold putting on a light in the shul is an issa deraisa, that's not machlekes. So Chazanish and the Shlomo Zalman, I think so many different parts to this halacha. You have to know turning on a light, any electricity, is that an issa deraisa or an issa derabanan? Right? We spoke last week with the hotel with the keys, the electric keys in the room. It depends. It could be to tzarech harbe. You have to get into your hotel room on Shabbos. How do you get in and out of your room? It could be called a tzarech harbe. But if you call it a tzarech harbe, you have to first come onto the heter that electricity is only the Rabbana. If you hold at the Chazanish, the electricity is the Raisa, so you're back to the Baal Heter. We're not matter the Issa the Raisa, we're only matter the Issa the Rabbana, Shvus the Shvus. So all these cases you have to, speak to your rabbi before you pass him. But the Magen Avram says over here that we're talking about a tzarech gadol, hefsid gadol. If you look in the Mishnah Berurah over here, Tzif Kon Chav Beis. Tzarech harbe. What does tzarech harbe mean? Tzif Kon Chav Beis. Ein b'Magen Avram shemasek the dafka b'mokim hefsid gadol. Avolavi hachi ein l'haka klal. You have to have a hefsid gadol. Now a leak, you have to know what's called the hefsid gadol. How much is it going to damage? It has to be called the hefsid gadol. Ube'el di rabba mefachvik afilu ba'ifin zeh. The El Rabbi says even hefsid gadol, it's not so pasha you could do a shvus to shvus. V'ayim esif yotes le'in schayra and I've said it adei geshamim. If you look in the Shar Tzi and Chav Dalet, the Mechaber says tzarech harbe is mutter. El Rabbi is arguing on the Mechaber. The Mechaber says tzarech harbe is mutter, and the Rabbi says even hefsid gadol is aser. Says the Shar Tzi and the Mashal Kos tzarech harbe efshir dafker b'davar she'utzar haguf k'mar she'v'sayim luchas b'yam etztayah. Tzarech harbe means something that's tzar haguf, but a hefsid of mominus maybe not. The Ma'aser the person go with the Magen Avram, now with the Rabbi, and the matter b'mokem hefsid gadol shvus to shvus. The matter shvus to shvus, the tell a guy to an issa d'Rabbanan b'mokem hefsid gadol, you can be Semicha on the Magen Avram, it's mutter. Now, the Magen Avram finishes off over here, and he says, and geen neerli de mokem hefsid gadol yesh lahat shvus ay de akum afilu kedarkoi v'shvus ay de Yisrael shaloi kedarkoi and issa d'Rabbanan by Yisrael doing it shaloi kedarkoi means a shinui also mutter. Avilavi hachi ein haka klal. The Magen Avram throws in something over here. For some reason the Mishnah Berurah doesn't speak about a b'chlal. A lot of times the Mishnah Berurah doesn't bring something down. He b'dafka did not bring it down. The whole Sifi we're talking about is shvus to shvus. A goy doing a malacha d'Rabbanan. How about a Yisrael doing a shvus to shvus? How is that possible? A Yisrael doing an issa d'Rabbanan b'derech shinui. Shinui means not the usual way. So if Yisrael does a issa d'Raisa b'derech shinui, not the usual way, it automatically goes down to an issa d'Rabbanan. Even though it's an issa d'Raisa, lighting a fire, you do it b'derech shinui, it becomes an issa d'Rabbanan. How about if I do an Issa D'Rabbanan B'derech Shinui? Is that called a Shvus D'Shvus? Same way a Goy doing a Malacha D'Rabbanan D'Shvus D'Shvus, or Yisrael doing a Malacha D'Rabbanan B'derech Shinui is also called a Shvus D'Shvus. So the Magen Avraham says Mefurish over here, the Shvus Aydei Yisrael Shaloi Kedaka is also mutter.
What would be an example of that?
It's a D'Rabbanan. If you hold the electricity, it's D'Rabbanan, you open the light with the elbow.
Right.
Let's say.
Okay.
It's a very bad example because electricity could be is not a D'Rabbanan, the Raisa. And also Shinui, which is a whole sugya in itself. I'm not going to go through it now.
Depend on the Teitzah.
Right. Lav Dafka Shinui means that I do it in a funny way. Writing B'Shinui is called a D'Rabbanan. Even though writing is a D'Raisa, but if you write with your left hand, let's say on Shabbos, it's a D'Rabbanan. Why isn't this a D'Rabbanan? Because when you write with the left hand, it comes out differently. The outcome is different.
The elbow doesn't change.
Right? But putting out a light with my finger with the elbow, who said nothing changes? I turned it out differently.
But hold on.
There's a machlokes.
Right, but that's the first gather of the machlokes.
If it's a shinui, yeah.
So if you hold that, the whole thing only.
What's called the shinui?
Once you hold that you can do it, even if it's the same.
Right. So what's called the shinui? So the question is what's called the shinui?
Right. That's a whole sugya.
Right. That's the whole sugya itself. What's called the shinui? But let's say the elbow is called the shinui, right?
Right.
So then you have a shvus to shvus. If you hold electricity, is the D'Rabbanan. But the remote.
You do this by yourself.
Right.
By yourself. In these situations, the Makam.
Right. The Maisa.
Because
It's
then
not.
you can already say that you can do it D'Oraisa through a goy.
Well, the guy put on the light with his elbow.
With the Shiur.
Yeah. So that's also a shaila. If a guy does with the shinui, if it's had to.
He can already do it D'Oraisa.
So the question is a guy's shinui called the shinui or not? If you hold the guy's a shvus, is a shinui making another shvus? These are all shailas that it's not so simple. Every level is its own shaila. So let's get back to the Magen Avraham. The Magen Avraham says.
They say the story of Rav Aaron Kotler.
Yeah.
The base medrash had no light.
Yeah.
And he told the guy to do it.
The elbow?
Yeah, Shlomo told us the story, so he says do it with the elbow.
So it's shvus.
So it's a Ma'aser Rav.
Yeah, okay.
That,
so the other person, it's a big machlokes in the person.
I'm saying,
yes.
That's Ma'aser Rav.
Ma'aser Rav, okay. So the Magen Avraham says, the shvus Aydei Yisrael Shaloi Kedakoi, the Rabbanon, with the Yisrael Aydei Shinui, is also mutter. The Pri Megadim over here argues. If you look in the Pri Megadim, in Eishel Avram, on this Magen Avraham, Sifkot and Zayin, Shin Zayin, let me find it in my Shulchan Aruch, it's hard to find it. The Eishel Avram says, here, the Eishel Avram, Sifkot and Zayin. You have it, Eishel Avram, Sifkot and Zayin. Shin Zayin, Eishel Avram, Sifkot and Zayin. The Pri Megadim says, it's like 2-3 lines in. It starts after that. Ha the shvus with the Rabbanan, the Mokah Mitzvah Tiru. You see it? Ha the shvus the Rabbanan, the Mokah Mitzvah Tiru. Yesh loimer ayedei akum is only through a guy. Aval Yisrael, but Yisrael that does shvus the shvus, heiche the gazru by shvus the shvus. Yesh loimer the aser afilu b'mokah mitzvah. So the Pri Megadim says mefurish that a shvus the shvus by Yisrael is aser. Only a shvus the shvus by a guy is mutter. A shvus the shvus by Yisrael is aser. So according to Pri Megadim, we have no heter for Yisrael to do any malacha. The chiluk is the Achronim say that when a guy does a shvus the shvus, it's the guy doing the ma'isa. But when Yisrael does a shvus the shvus, the ma'isa the Yisrael is doing a ma'isa on Shabbos. He's making it happen on Shabbos. There we would not make all. So you have here a heter of shvus the shvus by Yisrael doing a shvus the shvus. It's a big shaila if Yisrael could do it. And a guy doing a shvus the shvus is multiple b'mokah mitzvah, b'mokah tzarech. But how about ayidei shinui? So there's a whole shaila about a guy ayidei shinui, if it's called a shvus the shvus or not. Maybe a shinui doesn't make it into another shvus. Maybe it does. There's a whole shaila about it. So a guy to do something for you, the Rabbanan. So a guy to do one Rabbanan for you, already is a shvus the shvus. For a guy to do a deraisa, but makam shinui, b'derech shinui, that's already a shaila that go into the category of shvus the shvus. There's another halacha which is very important to see. I'm not going to do it now because we ran out of time. But at the end, the Mishnah Berurah over here, it's Sif Cotton Chav Dalid. I'll tell you what, and you look through it next week, we'll start off with this. I don't want to go weiter. If you look in the Mishnah Berurah Sif Cotton Chav Dalid, he speaks about the Da. It's in Chav Dalid on page Kuf Beis, it is the third line from the top. The Da, the Madad Chaimel Amir Len Yehudi Shvus. He speaks about a machlekes about the Mishnah Berurah Sif Cotton Chav Dalid. It's on V'hada Da the Madad Chaimel Lon. It's on Amar Aleph, the 3 lines down. It's a whole different sugya here. Something called Amira da Amira. Telling a guy to tell a different guy. Is that a shvus or not? And the Bizna Machlekes about it. The Bialacha also brings it down at the beginning of the Siman. In the Maskeh Afilu from Chasam Sefer. Next week we'll go through that halacha of Amira da Amira. A guy telling a guy to do a malacha on Shabbos. We'll get to it next week, Mitzvah. But this thing of Amira, shvus to shvus, for a lot of different cases. One case was the case of the license of Shaila is a Shaila of, the hotel rooms is a big Shaila. There's a Issa de Rabban, Issa de Raisa. The Shaila, if you want to turn off your oven on Shabbos through a guy, it's a shvus to shvus maybe, because it's guy doing a malachta chichel gufa, like the Magen Avraham says. There's lots of cases of Amira of a shvus to shvus by a guy. But Tzarech Hefsid, you could be mekel, but you have to know what Tzarech Hefsid is. That's what I'm saying. You can't go ahead and paskin so easily. Every case has its issues.
And for Shabbos, what do we? Let's say the meal, is that considered? Do we go back to that or not?
A Shabbos Suda, if it's what you need for the Suda, we call it a mitzvah. But the extra stuff that you don't need for the Suda, there's extras, like what they said, the crane or whatever they spoke about last time. That's not called. They can't be mata mir. Shvus. Sorry, they can't be mata shvus. For the shalom, for the main part of the Suda, maybe you could.
Doesn't matter how many people you're having over.
That's another shot. You have guests. If you invite a guest, you have to do a shvus for the guest. It's mutter. It's called a tzarech Shabbos.
Maybe they don't eat this and they need something else that you can bring it.
The real Shabbos come is when someone has business transactions on Shabbos for his business. A goy is doing a malacha d'Rabbanan. That's where the real Shabbos come in. The Shabbos we spoke about till now. Okay, turn on the light. You don't turn on the light. It's tzarech mitzvah. The real serious Shabbos in this sif is when you have a goy doing something for you on Shabbos in business.
Yeah, but that's why I thought sending the guy to the shuk on Shabbos. It's one thing if he's buying you something for your consumption, but if he's doing it. Buying something like raw materials that you're going to resell, that would seem to be more machmir, no?
Yeah, so that's a shvus to shvus. That's a shvus to shvus. Let's say a guy goes ahead and buys material for you on Shabbos. What's the issa to buy material on Shabbos? This is Rabbanan. Buying material on Shabbos is the Rabbanan. It's Mekach HaMemka. Mekach HaMemka is the Rabbanan. So a guy doing Mekach HaMemka for you on Shabbos is basically a shvus to shvus. So you'll have kulas of a guy doing certain transactions for you on Shabbos, even though he's doing it for you. It's a shvus to shvus. B'makom hefsid.
But there's so many other things. I mean, he might be writing. Those Mekach HaMemka is only
If he's writing, it's something else. If he's signing,
it's going to be deraisa. So it's not Mekach HaMemka.
If he's signing, it's a problem.
If it's a contract, it's
right. I mean,
if he's signing a contract, right?
And if he gets there because he has to go outside of the tchum, it's a deraisa. And if he has to drive a car, I don't know. Because I think the shilas that are every Shabbos that you say only business. I think that every Shabbos, without a doubt, this shilah comes up.
But shvus to tzarech?
Yeah.
What's the tzarech?
Lights go off. air conditioners go off, fridges are not open. Every Shabbos there's a question that comes up.
So that has to be.
There's no question.
It has to be. If your refrigerator goes off, right?
The refrigerator goes off. The refrigerator goes on. You have food in your fridge and you don't turn on the light. There's all these shilas and it's every single Shabbos. There's not a Shabbos that goes by.
If you get the shot, if you light in the refrigerator on Shabbos, every Shabbos.
Sorry.
If you get the shot, the light off in the refrigerator every Shabbos, and then you remember on Shabbos, so you want to tell Goy to open the refrigerator for you.
But that's a very interesting heter there.
Who did the heter?
Moshe says it's psikresha. Psikresha doesn't apply to a Goy.
Yeah, something else.
Right? He allows you to. He allows it not based on this.
Not this and this.
He allows it based on psikresha.
This is the story. I heard this story this past weekend. Unbelievable. There's somebody that I met whose business it is to buy seasons tickets from Yid, buy seasons tickets in a big way for many sports teams all over the United States, and then resell them. That's a big part of his business. So he had an opportunity to buy these tickets from the Golden State Warriors, like a huge basketball team. I'd never even heard of them, but and there's like 300 seasons tickets licenses coming up. They're only going to be for sale on Shabbos morning. You had to either send an agent or a call on Shabbos morning, and you could possibly buy these licenses for these tickets. And they're worth a fortune. They sell for like $10,000 for one ticket, for a season ticket, and then they're resellable for even huger, more charges. So he really wanted to buy these tickets. So he started to call the administration of the team, and he got shunted up and up and up to bit by bit to the higher echelons, and finally he got permission to call the owner of the team. And he called the owner of the team. The guy gets on the phone. And he says, "Okay, you got 30 seconds. What do you want?" Right? That's a really hard guy. And so he starts to say that he's an Orthodox Jew. He has a really good business plan for these tickets. I have a huge business in this, and I really want to buy the tickets. It's good for you. It's good for me. He started really quick. He says, "What are you talking about? You don't talk Jewish. I'm Jewish too. I use my phone on Shabbos, drive on Shabbos. I can do all these things on Shabbos. What is the big deal?" He wasn't going for it at all. So the guy said to the owner of the team, said, "Listen, I'll make you a deal." Okay? He said, "If you let me buy these tickets, I promise you that you can phone me every single Shabbos for the rest of my life. If I answer the phone even once on any Shabbos, then I'll give you back these tickets for free. You can have them back and resell them again," which is a huge financial issue. And the guy said, "Oh, come on, that's being ridiculous. Okay, you don't like that one? I'll give you another option. If you tell me that if I call on Shabbos morning, you will give me these tickets for free. If you tell me that, I will not call on Shabbos morning." And that got him. He said, "Are you serious? If I said you could have these for free, all you have to do is call Shabbos, you wouldn't make that phone call?" He said, "I absolutely would not do it." He thought for a few minutes, and he said, "Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you 10 tickets. There were like 300, I think, for a sale. But I'm going to get my administrative assistant to work with you on the other ones." And the kachava, and he got all of them. And he told me that he's made over $2 million since then from those tickets.
He's made $2 million?
He's made $2 million from those tickets.